Teleradyo is always at your service. Kaya naman, ang feedback mo, suggestions nyo ay mahalaga sa amin to improve our programs on air and online. Para alam ni teacher yung strengths as well as the things in your mind na mas makatutulong sa mas effective na pagkatuto sa Teleradyo. Please take time to send your feedbacks via Teleradyo Mu, which you can access by scanning the QR code on the right or typing the URL provided here, bit.ly/3ORVAY9. One more, this time you follow bit.ly/3ORVAY9. Kaya send your hashtag TBH o hashtag RT dito sa Teleradyo Mu kung saan ang feedback mo, suggestions nyo ay mahalaga sa Teleradyo.
Na sadyo, makinig, manood na sa Teleradyo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Sa gitna ng mapanubok na panahon, magkahatid sa kakibat ay diskusyon. Sama-sama tayo, kahit magkalayo. Sa programang ito, tiyak ang pagkatuto. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo.
C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. I gave you 20 seconds in each number. Let us start. For number 1, and the timer starts now. Okay. And the answer is, okay, B is equal to 3. Very good, Justin Sarmiento. Thank you for your participation. Lawrence Biloria. Gwen Maclang. Okay, very good. For number 2, we have this figure. Okay, and the timer starts now. Okay, let's reveal the answer. Okay, A is equal to 12. So, very good, Del Pilarian. You all got the correct answer. Justine Sarmiento, Raika Bicaldo, Rona Joy Manuel Manahan, Jonathan Daliton. Thank you very much for your actively participating. Okay, for number 3, the unknown part here is the hypotenuse. So, the timer starts now. Okay, thank you po sa lahat na nagpa-participate. Okay, and the timer stopped. And the answer is C is equal to 30. So, thank you. You got all the correct answer. Again, Justine Sarmiento. Kindly shout out your mathematics teacher in my proper lesson. Okay, very good. Jairus, Marian, Nina, Raisa, Justin, Irish. Okay, so let's move on to our lesson. The sixth trigonometric ratio. So for your information, Pythagoras theorem and trigonometry were the key mathematical method that we were used to help build the pyramid. Pythagoras looked the side relationship, and people like Hipparchus look at the relationship between the angles and the side. They named the angle and the side mathematics, trigonometry. In this lesson, we look at the trigonometric ratio associated with the right angle triangle. So this lesson assumes that the people already know how to level trigonometry sides of a right triangle as hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent. Triangle here, ABC, A, B, and C, with angle A is a right angle, and with the side AB, AC, and BC, shown in this figure. Let's say angle C, it is an acute angle that marked with angle represented by theta. Because it is an unknown angle, then we can say that the side AB is the opposite side of this angle. And AC, it is the adjacent part of this theta. And the side BC is the hypotenuse, which is also known as the longest side. It always the opposite of a right angle. In any triangle, we can define now the sixth trigonometric ratio. And this ratio are the ratio that sides of the right triangle. These are as follow. As you can see in this figure, we have here a reference angle and this opposite side, the adjacent side, and the longest side, which is the hypotenuse. So trigonometric ratio, the abbreviation, and the definition. So thank you for watching again, Geraldine Robles from 9SPS. Thank you po 93, CJ Bantog. Okay. So sine, theta, sin, abbreviation of sin, is the definition of opposite over the hypotenuse. And this is our reference angle. This is the opposite and this is the hypotenuse. For the cosine theta, the abbreviation cos is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Again, this is our reference. Okay, then tangent is tan theta, opposite over the adjacent. Okay, then cosecant, secant, and cotangent is the reciprocal of sine, cosine, and tangent. Let us see. Cosecant or CSC theta is hypotenuse over the opposite. It is the reciprocal of the sine theta. Okay, sine is the reciprocal of cosecant. Cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. Okay, how about secant? We have secant, hypotenuse sec, hypotenuse over the adjacent. Hypotenuse over the adjacent. And secant is the reciprocal of cosine. Cosine is the reciprocal of secant. And for the last one, cotangent. Cot is the abbreviation, adjacent over the opposite. So adjacent over the opposite is the cotangent, and this one is the reciprocal of tangent, and tangent is the reciprocal of cotangent. Okay. So to help memorize the 6 trigonometric ratio for the sine, cosine, and tangent, the acronym SOHCAHTOA is used. So don't forget the word SOHCAHTOA. This is her opposite side, adjacent side, and the hypotenuse. So we use SOHCAHTOA to help us remember the ratio. So for SO is the short from sine, opposite over the hypotenuse. For Ka is short from cosine, is equal to adjacent over the hypotenuse, or A over H. TOA is short from tangent, opposite, and adjacent, or the OA. Don't forget the SOHCAHTOA to help us remember the 6 trigonometric ratio. So for example, given the right triangle DEF with angle E, it is a right angle. Find the value of 6 trigonometric ratio of the acute angle D and F. Acute angle D and F. Since solution, unahin po muna natin yung ating D. The hypotenuse of angle DEF is DF. Ayan. It is the hypotenuse kasi it is opposite of the right angle. For the acute angle D, our reference angle, this is the opposite, EF, and DE is the adjacent. So we have the solution, sine D is equal to opposite over the hypotenuse. So 15 over 17. For cosine D is equal to adjacent over the hypotenuse, adjacent 8, and hypotenuse 17. From tangent is opposite over the adjacent. Given this definition, we have 15, the opposite of this reference angle, and the adjacent is 8. So cosecant is the reciprocal of sin. So we have here 17 over 15. Secant, hypotenuse over the adjacent, 17 over 8. And cotangent D is equal to adjacent over the opposite, is equal to 8 over 15. So let's move on to acute angle F. This time, this is our reference angle. So the position of the opposite and adjacent is changed. So now the opposite side is the EF, the DE, and EF is the adjacent side. So for the sine F, or the sine angle F, is opposite over the hypotenuse is 8 over 17. From the cosine F, adjacent over the hypotenuse is equal to 15 over 17. From tangent F, it is opposite over the adjacent 8 and 15. For cosecant f, we have hypotenuse 17 over the opposite 8. For the second f, it is a hypotenuse 17 and the adjacent 15. And for the last one, the cotangent f is the adjacent 15 and the opposite of 8. As you can see, since is the reciprocal of the cosecant, cosine is the reciprocal of secant, and tangent is the reciprocal of cotangent. So for example number 2, okay, referring to the figure at the right, here, triangle SET, tangent S, cosecant T, cosine S, and cotangent T. For our solution, let's have for tangent S. Tangent S at the definition is opposite and adjacent, TOA. So opposite and adjacent. So the answer is, this is our S and this is the opposite and this is the adjacent. 15 over 9 is equal to the equivalent ratio of 5 over 3. Okay. For letter B, we have cosecant T. And cosecant T is the reciprocal of sine. So hypotenuse over the opposite. And this is our reference angle T. So we have hypotenuse 12 over 9, which is the opposite of our reference angle. So 12 over 9 is equal to equivalent ratio of 4 over 3. Do you have any questions, learner? Okay, let's move on to letter C. Cosine S, so adjacent over hypotenuse is the definition. So reference angle is S. So we have adjacent 9 and the hypotenuse 12. Again, the equivalent ratio of 9 and 12 is equal to 3/4 or the lowest term. Okay, for letter D, cotangent T here. And cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent. So TOA, adjacent, and opposite kasi reciprocal is equal to adjacent 15 and opposite 9. And the equivalent ratio is 5 over 3. Okay, it's your turn. Get your pen and paper to active participating in our activity number 1, practice your skill. Okay, given the figure below, find the value and indicate the trigonometric ratio. You need to indicate the trigonometric ratio. So we have tan G, sin X, secant G, cosine X, cosecant G. So this is the figure. Triangle TGX with a hypotenuse 30. Okay, in each number, I gave you 20 seconds. Okay, for number 1, tangent G. And the timer start. Okay, thank you, Alexa Chavez Cabrera from 10:15. Christian Vargas from 9 Basho. Okay, and the timers stop. Okay, so let's have, and the answer is 4 over 3. So thank you, Justin, for the right answer. Jan Reyco from 99 from Ma'am Kaluwag. Okay, Christian Reynoso, thank you. Rain Alexia Manahan, thank you. Jan, you all got the correct answer, 4 over 3. And let's move on to number 2. And the timer start now. Okay, let us reveal our answer. It is 3/5. Okay, very good, Del Pilarian. You get the correct answer. Justin, Christian, thank you. Abigail, Rain, Ninya, Rain, Alexian, Manahan, thank you. And for number 3, let us start. Second G. Thank you, Micah, Christian Martin, Isabel Oli Dayaw, Aaron Daniel. Okay, and the timer stop. Let us reveal. It is 5/3. All the answer is on the equivalent ratio or the lowest term. So thank you, Salazar Jose Gabriel, Renz Beneventura, Justin Sarmiento, Rona Joy Manuel, Ebes Christian Reynoso, Santos Nino, Marian Jewel. Thank you very much. Let's move on to number 4, cosine X. Okay, thank you for your actively participating in our lesson. Okay, Eric Ramey Salcedo, thank you. And our answer is 4/5 for the cosine X. Okay, so for number 5, let us now start. Okay, thank you CJ Magpayo, Irish Gillian De Leon Carpio, Rona Joy Manuel Manahan, Maika Aliana Santiago, Red Nasila de la Cruz, Alessandra Cisre Pablo. Okay, and the last number is 5/4. So do you have any question? Thank you, Nina Raisa, John Denver, Salazar, Jonathan, Lorene. Thank you. Okay, so let's have a short break. So kindly follow and like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat Maluleño. And greetings from your Teleradyo family and Mathematics Department at Marcelo H. Del Pilar National High School. A happy birthday from Ma'am Charito Ferrer, a grade 8 mathematics teacher. Happy birthday po, Ma'am Charito. Okay, so let's move on to our next lesson. It is the trigonometric ratio of the special angles. In this lesson, we will learn the trigonometric function of the special angle, the 30-degree, 45-degree, and 60-degree, and how to use them to find exact value of trigonometric expression without a calculator. So the following special angle that's shown how to derive the trigonometric ratio of 30-degree, 45-degree, and 60-degree from the 30-60-90 and 45-45-90 special triangle. This is the 360 units. In the 360 unit, we have 1 unit, the shorter leg. Twice, the shorter leg is the hypotenuse, and times the square root of 3 is the longer leg. In the 45-45 unit, we all know that these two sides are congruent. So 1 unit to the 2 legs and times square root of 2 unit for our hypotenuse. So deriving it with the sign, it is so opposite over the hypotenuse, 30, this is our reference angle, 30-degree, we have 1 unit over 2 units. So we have 1/2. For the cosine or ka, it is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So square root of 3 over 2. And for the tangent, it is opposite over the adjacent. So we have 1 over square root of 3. Okay, do you understand? Let's move on to 60 degrees. So 60 degree muna po tayo. So this one is our reference angle. For the sine is opposite square root of 3 over the hypotenuse 2. 60 degree for the cosine, it is the adjacent 1 unit to the hypotenuse 2 units, so 1/2. And 60 TOA is the opposite square root of 3 over the adjacent part is 1. So square root of 3 na lang po. Okay, let's move on to our 45 degree. So 45 degree, any of this is the reference angle. So we have opposite 1 unit and the hypotenuse square root of 2. Okay, for the cosine, the adjacent 1 unit over the hypotenuse is square root of 2. And we have tangent o TOA opposite over the adjacent 1 unit over 1 unit is 1. So as you can see in this table, we have radical sign in denominator. So the process in getting rid for this square root is the rationalizing method. So let's move on to this one. The table below show the corresponding value of the trigonometric ratio for the each special angle including 0 to 90. So this table is including 0 to 90. As you can see in 30 degree, 45 degree, and 60 degree, the square root at the denominator is get rid. For example, to this one, the tangent is square root of 3 over 3. And sa 45, we have square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. And for the cosecant, 2 square root of 3 over 3. Let us now have for the 0 degree, the sine theta is equal to 0. For the cosine theta, it is equal to 1. From the tangent theta is equal to 0. And for the cosecant theta, it is undefined. From secant, we have 1. And from cotangent is also undefined. So let's have this one for 90. Sine is 1, cosine is 0, tangent is undefined, cosecant is 1, secant is undefined, and cotangent is 0. So to solve the value here, okay, usually to solve the value of expression involving trigonometric ratios of special angle, we should remember the value of trigonometric ratios of special angle 30 degree, 45 degree, and 60 degree angles. Let us consider the given table. So pinaikli lang po yan. And this one is the considered table in getting the values of expression involving trigonometric ratio. So how to use trigonometric ratio of the special angle to find exact value of expression. So let's have an example. So determine the exact values of each of the following. So this one is our table. Okay, for number 1, we have sine 30 degree plus cosine 45 degree is an trigonometric ratio expression is equal to getting the value of sine 30. Sine 30 degree is 1/2 plus cosine 45 square root of 2 over 2. Then we are going to plus 1/2 plus square root of 2 over 2. And we got the answer 1 plus square root of 2 over 2 because they have the same denominator. So if you get this value, get it on the table and substitute it in that value. So 1/2 plus square root of 2 over 2. So let's have another example. So cosecant 30 degree plus cotangent minus, this time is subtraction. Minus cotangent 45 is equal. So cosecant 30 degree, cosecant is, the value is 2. Cotangent 45, it is 1. So 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. So do you have question? So let's move on to this one. So this time it is a multiplication. But this number, meron po tayong number dito. 3 cosine 30 degree multiplied by secant 30 degree. This is the expression. So what do we mean by 3? So 3 po dito. We are going to get cosine 30. So cosine 30 is the equivalent of square root of 3 over 2 multiplied by the secant 30 to square root of 3 over 3. So multiplication, numerator, numerator, denominator to denominator. So we have 2 square root of 9 and 3 and over 2 times 3 is 6. So 3 quantity 2 plus 3 is equal to 6. Square root of 9 is 3. So we have 3 quantity 6 over 6 and 6 over 6 is equivalent to 1. And the answer is 3. So do you have any question? So when the expression is like this one, you got to look at the table, the given table. So we have 30, 45, and 60. Then substitute it to that value. So if you do not have any question, it's your turn. So again, get your pen and paper. So let's practice. Match column A to column B. And each number, I will give you 20 seconds to answer. So for column A, we have 3 cosine 30 degree plus sine 45 degree. What is the equivalent? You can use your table. So yung answer po is nasa column B. Okay, letter na lang po dun sa mga na magpa-participate ng ating activity. So the time stop. So for the number 1, the answer is okay, it is letter F. Thank you, Justin. Lagi na lang po si Justin ang nauuna sa pag-answer. Okay, Christian Martin, Crystal Gail Vicente, thank you. Okay, for number 2, let us start the timer. Okay, very good, Aaron, Abigail, Micah, Eves, Rain, Rona Joy Manuel, Manahan, Salazar, Jose Gabriel, Erica May Salcedo, Isabel Oli Dayao, thank you. Okay, and the timer stop. And the answer for number 2 is letter C. Okay. Okay, Justin again. Okay, for number 3, let's have 8 sine 45 degree plus tangent 45 degree and the timer start. Okay, last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And the answer is letter D is the correct answer. Thank you po sa nagsagot sa number 2. All of you got it correct. Okay, let's move on to number 4 and the timer start. 5 cosine 30 degree minus twice sine 60 degree. Okay, thank you po sa mga nagsasagot. John Denver, Damasin, Kyla Justin Fernando, Isabel Oli Dayao, Nina Raisa Belen, thank you. And the timer stop. And the answer is letter A. Thank you, Nina Raisa, Christian Martin for the right answer. And for the last one, let's start the timer. Okay, thank you, Erica May Salcedo, Maika Aliana. Kindly shout out again your subject for your mathematics teacher before we end for your attendance. So we have, for number 5, B ba siya o E? Okay, it is letter B. Okay, thank you, Del Pilarian, for your actively participating in our activity. Okay. Before we end our discussion, I would like to thank the Teleradyo production team sa bumubuo po ng ating Teleradyo Marcelo. And for my grade 9 mathematics department, thank you din po, Sir Marlon, Ma'am Grace, Ma'am Esther, Sir Chris Bantog, our 2 master teachers, Sir Renante, Ma'am Joy, and to our very own assistant principal. At the same time, it is our school head for mathematics department, Dr. Ronel E. Eusebio. Thank you very much po sa support. Okay, thank you po. And thank you and keep safe, learner. Thank you so much, dear learner, for your actively participation. Of course, for the respective Mathematics 9 teacher. Thank you. Keep safe, everyone. And don't forget to follow and like our Facebook page. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat Maluleño. See you all soon. Goodbye. Thank you po.
Manood na sa telyo, makanood na telyo, Marcelo. Buk na ko, hati akin yun, manood, kalayo, grado, to, Marcelo, Marcelo,